What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is Fortan Zimbu. Yes, my name is Fortan Zimbu. I am your African brother. I'm back here in YouTube. I'm gonna react in one of the video. I did react in this video before. It's about far right. Mega Trump, the support of Trump. They all debate. He's a British American. He moved to America. He has a business over there, so but and his background is from India. I think his background is from India. I think, but he's gonna debate a lot of Trump. Like a lot of these young people, they have no idea. A lot of America, they don't know this, but America is full of is a nation of immigration. No matter how much they can say they've been in America, the ancestors they've been there for 1500. They've been there since 1500 or 1600. Still, America, United States of America is a nation of immigration. Even if they don't like it, even if these young people that they talking here, they're gonna talk here, they all are the descendant of immigration. They can say whatever they wanna say, but they are the descendant of immigration moved to the United States of America. It is a country of the indigenous people that have been living there for longer than any other. So when you don't like immigration, you're in America, you don't like immigration, there's something really wrong with you. You need to look hard in the mirror and think, how did you get to America? You need to think hard. It doesn't matter if you can say you're citizen, you're true America. There is no true America. You are not true American. You're just an American. You're just European. You settler. You're a settler that moved to America, took over. You did not take the land by easy. You took it by force. You analyze a lot of indigenous, and you analyze a lot of blacks. White, you're not indigenous of that land. Black, you're not indigenous of that land. So hating other immigration is pointless. And I can see when I'm listening to these young folks, only I can see there is a lot of what do you call it? A lot of all of these young people, and all of them they have one thing in common. They have no idea what they're talking about. They really want to argue about silly things that they don't understand. The only thing that I noticed that they have on them is hatred. They have hatred, so much hatred, and it's sad.
Here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into debt for. And because more blue collar work, especially construction, agriculture and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields. So it requires
Are you looking for a job?
Listen to that. We can't. Do you know what pisses me off is this? People in this land, people in this country, we can't get a job. We can't afford this. So whose problem is that? Who are you trying to blame? When you're looking for something you can't find it don't mean you have to stop. You can't blame other people. You can't blame immigration for having a job. What did you study? She's talking about people in this country that can't get a job. We can't find a job. So whose fault is this? The president, the government of the country, they need to produce more jobs in the land that you are. You can't. Immigration people, there's a majority of immigration people, they're doing cleaning job. They're working in a field that you don't want to work on. They're doing farm work that you don't want to do. And my problem, my issue is in these young people. They don't want to do what immigration they're doing, but they complain about immigration taking the job. What job are they taking? You don't want to do what they do, what they're doing. So what job are they taking? It's sad, man. I don't know what education they give these young people.
construction
I am
or
not.
agriculture?
No, I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay.
Many people here are in college or went to college, but we can't even find jobs in our fields. Also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ
my
Americans.
my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed
Oh, wow.
to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child
She's
of
a child of immigration, and she, you can't make this shit up. She hate immigration. She's not, her parents, just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, his grandfather, they immigrate to American. Donald Trump, his grandfather. You know? It's sad to see people like this, you immigrant, and you have hate for immigrant. It don't make any sense. Remove the hate on yourself. Stop hating on other because you don't like what you see.
I was
But
born
you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your
Because-
parents are
At
not
this
American.
Not at
moment.
this
No. Oh, my Lord. Look, this world, we're doomed. We're definitely doomed. Because this generation, look at the way they think. Look at her mindset. She's an immigration, you know. Her parents immigrate to the United States of America. But she don't like immigration because do you know why? I don't have the job that I needed. The immigration, they took all my job. Shut your damn mouth. Immigration, they didn't take your job. It's just because you have so much hate of other people. That's it.
moment.
So hold
No,
on, your parents
they're
are Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah,
opposed
you're born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm
parents-
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants. You said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I
are
want to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
said,
we
I
cannot
came
even.
here as an immigrant. I'm an
But
immigrant.
at this point, when they came, as well as
The reason the
immigrants,
economy is doing badly now is
that
because Donald
that
Trump's
we're giving
tariff
it to loans,
policy.
we cannot
Nothing
even
to
get
do with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
We can't even
congressional.
start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I
in
understand
fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I
of
didn't
loans.
take any
They're
loans
giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans.
I'm not
from
saying you
SBA.
did, but I'm
Okay, well,
saying
I'm
that
saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans.
should we do?
My Lord, they're taking all the money, they're taking billion of money giving to these people. She's an immigrant. Her parents immigrate to the United States of America. Her parents, they immigrate. But listen to this. The government, they're giving all the money to these people. Really? My Lord, what is wrong with people? Is that a common sense? Is not common sense anymore.
Sure,
Americans are more likely
absolutely.
to start
No,
businesses
I'm aware of
and
that.
hire
You're
Americans.
not well.
No, I'm aware
Right?
of that.
Immigrants
But
are
we
more
also-
likely
An
to pay
idiot.
in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The
Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking. If you
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast
Oh, okay.
majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time
That's not-
from
that's just-
immigrants.
that's
In
just-
fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages
Who's that
and
by?
raised innovation.
Who's that by?
productivity. National Bureau for Economic Research.
no, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm asking
Yes,
for
I
the
didn't
author.
memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did, right?
Can you
It's
give
from-
me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did
The
he.
vast majority of
Hold on,
studies.
let me speak.
Please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen,
Idiot.
he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at the spatial approaches that all these economists use, you're
I can, sit there, listen to this young garbage. They all, can you see? when you guys listen to them, come on, they need to remind you guys of somebody. Really? When they're talking about this, I'm only pitching one person. Your president, Donald Trump. They're talking just like Donald Trump. He representing this moron. So they all became moron. Trump, he has a garbage mind. So what do you expect from the nation to be like? Garbage as well.
Not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%. Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately into the undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you proudly said that. One of us proudly, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because
I actually do.
For example, do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into
That's not the reason the Republican Party blocks the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage?
Bringing all these people in. Do this idiot know that, yes, there is very good immigration that they will come to your country, and there is tiny bad one. Yes, just like any country. This young man is speaking like this. If you see the majority of people that they doing crime, they are not immigration. They are people that looks like him that they're doing a lot of crime. He's sitting up in his house talking about the hate that he has about the immigration, but he can't do anything for himself. Can you see the problem we have? And this is how Trump speaks. This is how Trump thinks like. And this is the bad that we have in this generation. The president is from the 60s, and he brought the stupidity mind in 2025.
Because they're worried about immigration.
Did I say I voted Republican? Did I say I voted Republican?
Well, I'm in a show that was called 25 Far-Right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support every single Republican candidate.
So you and I do value. If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of low wages in the country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires, and people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native.
I get the monologue right now. Let me respond.
You had one. You had one. No, with your one study that had a 0.5% impact.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point,
because I don't need to
there it
one
goes
study.
again. The
majority of studies say that wages are not impacted
the
by
majority of your
migration over
studies
time.
are flawed. That's what I'm telling
Not
you.
my studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's the economist studies.
Don't assume who I am.
Yes, I can assume who you are.
But are you?
I could be. I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm going to major in economics, right?
Are you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume. One thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment.
Do I know what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were at 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting poverty wages. Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages.
You won't let me
again.
Yes, if you go to the Lookwood Institute, they calculate it a way where it's functional unemployment. Okay, if you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time, if you count all of those people together, and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say that.
Who hires the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So when you bring up these big firms,
okay, so
that's the
let
way
me ask you a question.
Understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms will suddenly raise all the wages.
notice
That's
how you
what you
didn't answer
believe.
what I said?
I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration.
They will be forced to.
It's great
When you
biggest
increase
naivety.
labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
But this
tightening
is
the
a
supply
very
of
simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how
No,
you're wrong.
Brian.
Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through
About
their
about
presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like USA foreign aid. So this is the point. They create
Don't
jobs. I
assume
came
that.
into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like.
Now listen to that.
I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here
Listen to
and
that.
say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left wing
I never
He
policy.
said
never said America are lazy. He never mentioned that one bit. Can you see? They don't know what they're talking about. They have just one thing in their heart is hatred. That's it. Oh, they're talking just garbage. Can you see? You don't look like me. Move along. You don't look like my ancestor. Go away. But it's not your land. You stole America. Not even you. With the ability that you have on you in your mind, you can't steal any land. But your ancestor, they did. My gosh, get out. How could you just be so disrespect, ignorant, and tell somebody, get out? You know, you want somebody out of this country like you have the privilege to say that. It's so sad, man. It's so sad.
Americans
I
are
don't know
lazy.
why you say this.
I never said Americans are
Yes,
lazy.
you are.
The
You're,
only person
saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have
is
to
you.
come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never said
exactly
those
what you
words.
said.
When did I say
Oh,
it?
really?
When did I
never
say it? So
mentioned
on
that
YouTube,
bit.
guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Where
You
did that
said-
came-
Dang. Woo! You know what? My mind, I'm just thinking, how can the people be so cruelest? They have the mind of the racism parents. They have so much hatred. Immigration, look, immigration, they're doing the job. These young people, they don't want to do. They need to stop blaming immigration for them not having the job. The job that they want to sit in the office. They want to do easy thing. That's what these young people, they don't want to go and clean up toilet. They don't want to be security guard. They don't want to work in a farm. They don't want to do any of that. They don't want to do cleaning job. But a lot of immigration, they're doing that to keep their country clean. But do you know what they do? They will spit on them immigration. This is what they're gonna do. Spit on them talking rubbish. Nothing else they're gonna do. They're stealing a job. I cannot say because we are in 2025, so things is getting worse. No, things already been worse longer than we even thinking is already worse. Only the one thing I'm gonna say, only one thing I know that as black people, we always the number one hater, no matter how things is going in anyone's country, black people we always. And can you see Donald Trump? He has a crisis in America. Donald Trump, he has a crisis in America, but his focus is in other country. I want to take this from the Chinese. I want to take this from Africa. I want to charge this to he want to do all of that. There's a lot of poor people in America. Fix that. There's a lot of poverty. People that sleeping in the street. Look, I know poverty. I lived in Africa. I know because I've been in that struggle. I used to pick up food in the street. Yes, just to feed my stomach. I used to sleep with hunger, starvation. I've been through all of that in my life. Picking up food in the street of Africa. Yes, in my country with dirt. If you asking me, I would be alive in this day and age. I'll tell you, your mind. When I see young American or young British, young French, young Dutch, young German, they're speaking like this, I'm thinking, you have it better in your country. Be happy. Take advantage of what you have. Some of us, we don't have that. They struggle and carry on every day because we have leader that they don't care. At least you people have leader that they trying, even if they're hypocrite, they trying everything. Just they're creating job in Africa, in my country. Who's creating job for the young people? For any no, they're not creating that. You can go university, finish. You're still gonna struggle to eat in Africa, to sleep, to find any place to just be, in a better condition. It ain't happening in Africa. I know I've been there, even it been many years ago, even in the 80, 90. I know because I know I've been there, they struggle to survive. So these young people, they don't know what they're talking about. They'll blame everything to the immigration. Majority of us immigration, we don't come so we can take anyone's job. No, we're running away from the struggle. The little that we're gonna have is better for us to survive and feed a family. I'm telling you. But we don't program that. Let me go so I can take a white person's job. No, we don't do that. We don't program. We don't even have that. I can find a job, even if picking up things in the street and cleaning up so they can pay me little money so I can feed my family here or back home. I'm good. I won't complain. Even if cleaning toilets, I won't complain. But them, when they see immigration cleaning up toilets, cleaning up, the street, being a janitor, all of that, we're doing. And they're stealing our job. We're working in a farm, they're stealing our job. Please. Oh, they need to leave. Too many immigration. It's sad. I know poverty, but you know what? This was just my take. So I hope y'all can have a good day. God can bless y'all, you and your family, because our children are the best thing that can come out from us. We need to do everything so we can make it easier for our children. They need to work, but they need to understand the pain is away from the people that they hate us the most. But you know what? I'll catch y'all to the next one. Peace.